Let's go ahead and look at a scenario for inverse variations. It says the number of carpenters needed to frame a house varies inversely. So I'm going to underline that, varies inversely as the number of days needed to complete the project. Suppose 5 carpenters can frame a house in 16 days. All right, so let's go ahead, go back to what we've been working on, and that is our inverse variation function right here, which is f of x equals to k over x. Okay, and what that simply reads is y varies inversely as x. Okay, so when we are breaking these problems down, we're going to need to go back to this phrase right over there, y varies inversely as x. So let's read through it one more time and we'll set it up. The number of carpenters needed to frame a house varies inversely. Notice that is the carpenters that are going to vary inversely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and replace this. I'm going to say y is what our carpenters are going to be. Varies inversely as x. Let's figure out what our x or our input is going to be. And it says the number of carpenters needed to frame a house varies inversely as the number of days. So our x in the phrasing, our x is going to be the number of days. Well, how does that help us out? That helps us understand what the function is going to be. Remember, y is the same thing as f of x. So what we actually have is carpenters equals to the constant of proportionality over the number of days. Now, we do need to figure out our constant of proportionality. And remember, when we multiply our x and our y variables, they should always come out to be the same, which is our constant of proportionality. So I'm going to take our carpenters, which is 5, equals to k over our days, which is 16 days, and I'm going to multiply by 16. Another shorthand method of doing this is just do 5 times 16. And that should give us that k is equal to 80. Well, that gives us a great way of setting up our function, our inverse variation that can model this situation. It's simply going to be our carpenters are going to be equal to 80 over the number of days. Because remember, our carpenter's 10 days should always multiply by 80. That is our constant of proportionality. Now, once we have that, we're just going to do some basic solving in order to go a little bit further with this. It says, how many days will 8 carpenters take to frame the house? Well, 8 carpenters, that just means that C is equal to 8. And with that, I'm just going to plug it in and solve for the days. Okay, so 8 equals to 80 over the number of days. Okay, simple math. You should be able to see this automatically, but I'm going to do it algebraically anyways. I'm going to multiply by d. I'm going to get d times 8 equals to the days will cancel on that side, equals to 80. And then I'm going to divide by 8. And what you should see is that it takes about 10 days. Now, that math should be straightforward, but I do want to just show the algebra just in case we get into a more difficult problem later on. All right, y'all, I hope that helps setting up a inverse variation problem for you.